Mame fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Johnnie Hughes ede ensembe atudwa. Ya me pesa obeka me ho na yakotie ensema Johnnie Hughes ede atudwa. Na obebisa se ensembe na Johnnie Hughes ede atudwa. Na okay say after December 7th election no, and I said around December 7th election eba January rumor be told that said there is some last minute appointment bia Nana Addo Akufo-Addo initiate eno ena Johnnie Hughes ato ensem amane MPP amanyoko no, which was led by Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Yeah, what say he is not against anybody's getting appointment. Nemom adentina MPP etena say for that whole 8 years na afey omo ba be free aban mu no omo ye appointment. Is it because omo pese NDC aban no emfa e car eba no ana say expenses a e was say omo tuama eye appointees na say ubeka ya year back 2022 ya na about 2023 I stand to be corrected. Kenoforiata ever kind budget na or assure the young graduates and I said the youth say payroll no eso ayama enti no or Ghanaians and I said or youth no say omo enter into omo businesses say na be ya ombe make a living. And then Johnnie Hughes ebisa say what has changed adenti na within that time no mo say payroll ayama na mo be free aban mu there mo start make recruitment and as a master to make appointment. Now auto ensem so no assigned to ensem man some foot soldiers bia omo say Johnnie Hughes wasesa kasa and I say ne style of journalism no assessa ensem way ne ensem ahoro bi na yede beso mo ene kame ho na yentie ensem Johnnie Hughes editor.
I want to do a bit of a throwback. And largely today we'll be doing a lot of throwbacks because some people have made it their business to make a suggestion that we have not been consistent. And we have to dispel that propaganda. What we should be doing now should be introspection. If you lost an election, you do introspection, and then you think about what you may have done which didn't go well with the people. Not to find people and select people to want to attack with malicious intent. No. So we'll dispel that.
Now, Johnnie Hughes etwa Nesemson or describe some people in the MPP as a nation wreckers just because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lost the election. And I said the election didn't go their way. And until almost percent bibia ejegu. And until some people are preaching say they want the government of NDC and I said John Dramani Mahama and then NDC Amanyoko and collapse. And I said everything.
Now, what have I been posting back in the day? It's a Facebook post. And the way I speak now, I have spoken then like that. So it is nobody's birthright to start insisting that I should keep quiet. No. If the thing is wrong and I see it going south, I'll talk about it. Show me the Facebook post, please. Let's run at top speed, please. The Facebook post. And this was on the 23rd of January 2017. MPP said, he is the best. NDC says, Aputo for the where. Me, I said, stupid politics, nation wreckers. When will this stop? Hashtag think Ghana first. This was about appointments of then a new government that had come. So today, if people are being appointed and I talk about them, why would anybody suggest that I should not talk about them? Because somebody is not happy that I'm talking about it. I will. And you cannot stop that because in the past, I wrote this. There's evidence to prove it. 2017, when people were appointed, the MPP party thought that they were the best. Somebody said that they are not. I put this on Facebook. And I'm not one who is a timorous soul who deletes my face. I don't do that. So don't lock your profile on Facebook and come and be dictating to another person what he should be typing on his page. If your page were that good and it was influential, you would have typed what you want to type there. You have become a keyboard ninja. Only a few months, a few weeks ago, you were so sure that Ghana was going to succeed. With all the difficulties that we have, with all the revelations that we are hearing around the vetting table, you were so sure that we were going to do very well. If your candidate wins. Your candidate didn't win, so everything must be run aground, everything must be poo-pooed, the whole conversation. That's where I say it's a repetition, it's stupid politics, nation wreckers. That's what you are. You only think along those lines if you're a nation wrecker. You only think along those lines if you're a nation wrecker. And I've just showed you that my tone hasn't changed since then. It is not now about to change. So sit down well. Now, let's talk about COVID cash.
Na Johnnie Hughes etoa nensem so no. Osan dey expose bi eto dwa. Efa eye COVID fund. Ekwan a MPP. Efa so mismanage.
Set up a COVID trust fund. Right? And we put prominent Ghanaians in there. That audit that was done about how our COVID monies were spent. Put it up. The COVID trust fund. How our COVID monies were spent. Somebody told us in this country that I received 100,000 cedis of COVID-19 funds. MPP Sanerigu PC claims in viral audio. And this audio is known to all our security couples. This audio was public. Let's see the photo of the lady who made the claims. Scroll up, let's see it. All these things were made public. These were COVID funds. When people were busy trying to fix our problems, the monies that were supposed to be used to help people, the COVID funds, they were shared like granules. And I remember under the previous government, the president had told us in opposition then, and the screenshot is there, that he was too old to steal our money. Rightfully so. So this 100,000, why was it given to somebody? And what was it meant for? The 100,000. Why was it given to and was that the only 100,000 I was giving? Or there are others? It's a big conversation that we must have. That COVID-19 audit has to be looked at again. If people have to be punished, they have to be punished. And that's how to run a country. You don't profiteer off the suffering of people. You don't do that. And anybody who does that and does that confidently must be dealt with and brought to book. I said we had a COVID-19 trust fund that was set up with prominent people managing the fund. So how did that happen? But find me the screenshot of the COVID-19 funds. Let's work at top speed, please. I have pretty much more to say. There's a board of trustees that we selected for the COVID-19 trust fund. Board of trustees. We selected them. Board of trustees for the COVID-19 trust fund. Prominent Ghanaians, knowledgeable elder statesmen and women. How did it happen that under their watch, these claims were made with the monies that went? I want to understand. There's a screenshot. President inaugurates COVID-19 trust fund, board of trustees is there. These were the men and women that we entrusted everything to. Some men and women of the cloak, medical professionals, all of them. You have to ask yourself the question, how did this happen under their watch? How? Please put it up there. Let's see it. How did they happen under their watch? How did it happen under their watch? This is COVID money. And I'm always proud to have been part of the success story of us building in record time that facility that took care of the COVID-19 patient. I'm so proud of the private sector. Senor Osi, good morning to you. And for all those who put their heads together to make sure that the private sector engineered that, I'm proud. While we were building, we had our monies being shared like granules. It no be me to come. So you have to ask yourself the question, why did that happen? And how did that happen? And who has been reprimanded or dealt with for making that happen? Who? No, I'm just asking who.
Johnnie Hughes etwa Nsemsono or true massive support for policy beer President John Dramani Mahama and the Chief of Staff Omashate Amoye investigations into it. Yeah, Amope the list and answer Amoye investigations into the Nkofua and answer last minute appointment. Johnnie Hughes etwa Nsemsono or commended President John Dramani Mahama and the Chief of Staff Julius Debra for investigations and answer probings into the last minute appointment. Dana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo and Sana Ofri Abamu. Yeah, what I say, he is in full support of that.
I was so glad yesterday when I saw something that had been, emanated from the presidency about the fact that the names and all the details of people who were recruited on the 7th. This is that presidency letter, the document. And we'll read it together. This is dated the 15th of January, 2025. Ministry of Transport. Chief Director has received his copy. It says, to all heads of government institutions, request for information on payroll. In line with the ongoing efforts to ensure the accuracy and integrity of government payroll records under the John Mahama administration, I'm writing to request your assistance in providing information on staff who have been added to your institution's payroll since 7th of December 2024. You are kindly requested to submit the following details for each staff member added within the specified period. A, their full names. B, their designation of job title. C, employee identification number if applicable. D, date of appointment. And then E, date added to payroll. This information is critical to maintaining transparency and accountability in our payroll management processes. Kindly ensure that the requested data is submitted to my office no later than Friday, the 31st of January, 2025. Should you require further clarification or have any questions regarding this directive, please do not hesitate to contact. Your cooperation is in this important matter is highly appreciated. That's Julius Debra, his Chief of Staff, is copied the Vice President and all those who have to be copied. I am not against people getting employment, no. What I find questionable is the fact that at some point in this country, we were told that the payroll is full. The government payroll is full. And that young people cannot find work in this country. You remember that? At that same time, the children of the people who came together to tell us that the payroll is full found jobs within the same time frame. Some CEOs, some MD, some this, some that. They found jobs. And yet you had people who were busy defending that nonsense. I said I am not against young people or people getting employment. What some of the staff, look, staff of Ghana Water Company, they've been talking to me. Ghana Water Company will fall within this space. The last minute employments that were done, they'll fall within this space. There's so many institutions that had last minute packing and stacking. For 8 years, you didn't think it was necessary to give people an opportunity to work. Because for 8 years, you said you couldn't find the money to pay them. But in the dying days of the government, the twilight of the government, you suddenly pack the spaces so that your successor will bear the cost. That's the height of wickedness. When you know that the economy has been messed up beyond measure. And then you bring people in, and then you make new entrants, senior staff, new entrants who have no work experience, who have not worked anywhere before in their lives. You make them seniors over people who have similar qualification or even, much lesser qualification, maybe a degree. Somebody's bringing a master's, that's okay. But that person who has a degree has worked within the institution for 13 years, 15 years, 18 years. And somebody is coming in with a master's degree who has never seen any kind of work before. But the person is senior to the person who has been working. Then you ask yourself, what is wrong with us? Do we not value experience in this country anymore? I fully support this audit. And this audit must be done. And questions must be asked. I'm not against people getting employment. Because the government alone cannot employ everybody. We know that for a fact. But we know that if the government creates the enabling environment, people will find jobs to do. People will create jobs and employ others. Speak to the private sector folks. Those who run schools, those who run whether bakery, whatever it is they do, they are always complaining. Because the tax regimes, the regulator, is so stiff and stern. It makes their lives difficult. It does. It makes their life very, very difficult. And we didn't create enabling environments. And for some of them who, they get their profits and they go and put it in bonds and other things, then we went to take the monies that they had also saved for a rainy day, their sinking fund. We took everything away from them. I support this audit fully. I support it fully. And if you are a new CEO or a new MD that has been taken somewhere, yesterday I told Mr. John Sapple, who has been taken to GIOC, some of the people who were involved in taking 520,000 Ghana cedis from GIOC and they were made to pay back, some were interdicted. They were in the photo laughing and smiling with you. Be careful. Oh, be careful, be careful, be careful. You have to be very careful. And you have to get to the bottom of that matter.
Johnnie Hughes etwa nensem sono okasafa a lady at GIOC ekwan a omofa so treaty no.
Now, let me do another quick throwback for you. For those who say I've not been consistent, this one, I think it was in 2017 or 2018. You watch small.
While I was on leave, I had a chance to go to Enyinem. There's a Presby school right behind the taxi rank. It's in a deplorable state. This school is more than 100 years, I'm told. Wow. And that's it. They have about 160 students in pupils. That school. Yes, in that school. It's actually a JHS. Oh. And this is how it looks like. It's in the Etiwa East constituency. So that will fall under the purview of the Deputy Finance Minister, Abunao Sayasari. I don't want to mention the MCE's name, because I don't know, and also because we don't elect the MCs.
Right.
We would have been elected MCs by now, but because the president withdrew Article 241,
right,
because we couldn't get 553, so we are not going to elect them. We don't know when it's going to happen.
So this is just something small. We didn't start the work today. Oh. That was my suit. Those were my suit wearing days. We didn't start the work today. We have done the work since. So let no air-headed person come and say what they don't know. We have a track record of which we are very proud of. Now, there's a document titled Recommendation. I want to tell you a story I've told you before, but I find it necessary to tell you that story now. Yesterday, I was at Kolebu, and Kolebu requires a whole resetting. Kolebu itself is sick. Kolebu is sick. The union leaders are mentioning a certain Dr. Amu, that he is the best pair of hands to handle Kolebu. But we'll get back to that conversation. The system is sick. Oh, you have the document. It's the first document in the list. Mami, I'll find it. Let's put it up there. Recommendations. We'll read that. I want us to read that in full. You see the 4 hotels that we wanted to sell. There were 4 hotels that we wanted to sell. La Palm, Labadi Beach. There was one in the central region. We wanted to sell them off. Right? I will tell you a story of a gentleman who took on the hotels. And this is testimony from Uncle Ibo White, not me. So put them up there quickly. Let's read it together. And then we'll go to GIOC. Yesterday I was telling you about a young lady in GIOC who literally has been frustrated and humiliated. The National Labour Commission knows about it. It's one of the things that Mr. Jones applied, because as we speak now, she's still not receiving her salaries, and she's on a supposed interdiction for doing what? Exactly. I read part of the document to you. I will give you a few of the documents. Now, please expand it so we can read it together. Put it up there for me. This is William Thompson. Now, I'll have to read for all of us to know and hear what this story is about. If you're looking for the best pair of hands to handle those 4 hotels, this is what Uncle Ibo White wrote back in the day. He says, usually, when you hear stories of a turnaround of a company, we tend to think that only expatriates can work that kind of magic. There are Ghanaians who, in their own little ways, are accomplishing results that everyone has thought impossible. These Ghanaians make me proud to be a Ghanaian, and one such person is William Thompson. William was posted to the Busia Beach Resort in May 2009, which was heavily indebted to the tune of 2 billion cedis. Its facilities were broken down, air conditioners were old and inefficient, and the restaurant and the conference rooms were not up to the standards. William also discovered that the hotel was running more expensively than it should. For instance, some staff members were using their wives to front companies to supply goods at exorbitant prices. The hotel hired a lawnmower at 50,000 cedis per day to trim the grass. He had heard it since said that the Busia would only make money when oil begins to flow and the people flock to the western region. But William decided not to wait for that oil before doing the best to turn around the hotel. He cleaned up the purchasing arrangements to ensure transparency and fairness. He ensured that the hotel got value for every purchase or contract it signed. He worked to improve the facilities and efficient service delivery and launched a sales strategy to bring people in. Within 9 months, William had paid off the debt of 2 billion cedis. He had also changed all the air conditioners and refurbished every room, the conference rooms and the restaurant. He bought three lawnmowers to maintain the hotel's beautiful grounds, and he accomplished all these through internally generated funds. The hotel was finding it difficult to fill its rooms, is operating at full capacity. It was fully booked about a month ahead. I asked William why he had bothered to work so hard to transform the hotel. He said, Uncle Lebo, Busia Beach Resort is wholly owned by SNIT. SNIT is the future for all of us. And if every investment of SNIT fails, where will the fund find money to pay us our retirement benefits? So it was in my interest to ensure that the money SNIT had put there does not go down the drain. With this mindset, I was not surprised at his success. When I interviewed some staff of the hotel, they all spoke very highly of him. One of them said, I call him Surprising Amsterdam because he had accomplished results no one thought was possible. I share the story of William Thompson to show that when a Ghanaian puts greed and dishonest gain out of his mind, he can accomplish great results. Ghana's problems are not so difficult, and we know the solutions. Unfortunately, all too often, those taxed to solve these problems or those problems do not act unless they can profit from the solution. That is why Ghana seems like a poor country with our infrastructure broken down. I think of companies like Ghana Airways, State Transport Corporation, State Fishing Corporation, and others, and wish that these companies had been blessed with a William Thompson. I toast to all the William Thompsons in Ghana for their love for Mother Ghana that has made them put aside their own personal interests to attend their duties, with efficiency and honesty. I also salute the board that has oversight of William for supporting his efforts as transforming the hospital. We'll end here. Now, I'm talking about this because if somebody shows a track record that a great man like Uncle Lebo White can talk about and even publish a testimonial about, who am I not to repeat it? You are looking for a manager for the 4 hotels that we had said were not profitable. We were literally trying to run them down so we can sell them off. And we do the 3FM All-White party at the La Palm. It can be turned around. Somebody paid a bill that was owed, debt that was owed of a hotel for 2 billion in 9 months. Bought 3 lawnmowers that were hiring for 50,000 Ghana cedis every single day. And the workers acknowledged that. Who best is fit to hold it? I just brought you back what had been written back then, a success story in 2009. Who did we put at La Palm? Who did we put at Labadi? Who did we put at Busia Beach? Who did we put there? And how did they run the place? And have we been happy? If you are looking for best results, you look for the person who has done it before. Ayebida. Now, let's go to GIOC. We're wrapping up with that. I want us to talk about the young lady. There's a letter from the lawyers of, at the time, Mr. Maxwell Kofi Juma. They say, oh, they were solicitors for. We'll read all the letters. There are about 3 or 4 of them. We'll read them so to put things in perspective. And then we'll wrap up so we can all go and have a nice weekend. This is from Edua Prochik Chambers. 18th of June 2024 to the National Labour Commission, PMB, a private mailbag, Edum Kumasi. Attention, Osman Golana. Request to transfer proceedings in the matter of Dorcas Konedu Fofi and Opoku Mensah versus GIOC Distilleries Company Limited. Please accept our warm compliment. We act as solicitors for and on behalf of GIOC Distilleries Company Limited, hereinafter called our client. We acknowledge receipt of your notice dated the 5th of June 2024 and served on the marketing officer of the institution on the 10th of June 2024 at the head office. We entreat you, your honorable institution, to refer the matter cited above to be heard and continued in Accra, the head office of your institution per the law. The basis is that the head office of the respondent is based and situated in Accra. The petitioner was employed in Accra and was directed to the Kumasi sector. The petitioner knows that every administrative process and procedure is held at the head office of the respondent company. The petitioner was also served on the respondent through its secretariat at the head office in Accra. It will be appreciated if the proceedings shall be transferred to the head office of your institution in order to assist the respondent's response to the processes accordingly, or proceedings accordingly. We believe that all cause or matter shall be commenced in the region in which the defendant or respondent resides or carries on business. Per what has been explained supra, we wish that the proceedings shall be transferred to your head office accordingly. Akwesi Owusu Fojo is Esquire, and carbon copy to the managing director at the time, Maxwell Kofi Juma. The first question that comes to me is that, does GIOC not have a legal department? If they do not have a legal department, why? How much was this firm or these lawyers paid to take on the 2 staff of GIOC? What were the legal fees and what were the terms? Number 3, were they representing the interest of Mr. Maxwell Kofi Juma, or were they representing the interest of GIOC? It's one of the matters that Mr. Jones Saple at GIOC must get into. Find me the other letter, please. And I want us to read it in full. About this young lady. And this young lady, at the time when she was interdicted, she was actually pregnant. Her car was taken from her. Her salary was withdrawn. And not this one. Show me the other one. Show me, there's another letter from GIOC by the young lady in the matter of Dorcas Fofie. I want us to read that finally, and then we'll wrap up. Yes, good. Now, this is the 26th of June, 2024. The managing director, GIOC Distilleries Company Limited, and counsel for respondent, Edua Pro Chambers, etc. We've read that already. In the matter of Dorcas Fofie and Opoku Mensah versus GIOC Distilleries Company Limited, we refer to your letter dated the 18th of June 2024, requesting that the matter be heard and continued in Accra, and the complainant's letter dated the 28th of June 2024, copy attached. After careful consideration, please be informed that we are unable to grant your request. The matter is inextricably commenced connected to Kumasi, where the complainants were employed and worked throughout their working relationship with the respondent, and where the incident leading to the complainant occurred. You are also aware that one of the complainants is currently a nursing mother who resides in Kumasi, and moving the matter to Accra will not be appropriate in the circumstance. The justification or the jurisdiction of Kumasi office of the commission in the Ashanti region and the northern sector, and due to jurisdictional constraint, the case cannot be heard in Accra. We respectfully request you to study the complainant and send your written response and relevant documents, collective agreement or contract of employment or any other evidence. Okay, let's go to the next page quickly, please. So this was what the Labour Commission wrote. And they say, oh, no, they can't do that. Next week, we will get into the full detail of this matter. I'm just saying good morning to the Labour Commission. I'm just saying good morning to the Labour Commission, that's all. Now, there was a letter from GIOC about maternity leave to the lady. That's the final one. Then we'll wrap up. Maternity leave. Somebody goes on maternity leave and the person's salary is not paid. 22nd of January, 2024. Ms. Dorcas Konedu, HR Department, GIOC. Dear Ms. Konedu, maternity leave. Now, I want to hold myself. Reference to the maternity leave form received from the magazine Hospital dated the 12th of January 2024 on the above subject matter. Please be informed that in accordance with Article 21 of the company's collective agreement and paragraph 7.7 of the GIOC employee handbook, your 3 months maternity leave commenced on the 22nd of January 2024 and shall end on the 29th of May. You are therefore to resume work on Thursday, the 30th of May 2024. On resumption of duty, you shall be granted 2 hours off duty every working day for 1 year to nurse your baby. Thus, you shall be allowed to work for only 6 hours a day during the period from 30th of May 2024 and the 30th to 30th of May 2025. And she has not worked since then. On behalf of the management and the entire staff, we take this opportunity to congratulate you for the safe delivery of your baby and wish you both good health. Signed by Chima. That's the managing director. Now, yesterday, what I read for you, all these things are in the narrative, and I promise that I will bring them to you. We'll continue on Monday. Let's have a good weekend. Please.
Enia would say Johnnie Hughes, in reaction to how a nursing mother was treated at GIOC. Now, on Sunday, and Sembi Etudra, Efa a month for Omokasa or nye consistent in the journalism. Na wasisa the style of journalism. Otwa nsem so o commende President John Dramani Mahama and Chief Julius Debra for probing into the last minute appointment of president and as a former president Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Afen so no osan kasafa ekwanya MPP efaso MS manage COVID funds. Yade ensem no beso ha. Subscribe to channel no, bell notification no, na share ma afofro ensa enkebi. Comment section ho na wode wadwentre aba. Yebe share in the next video. Makra.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.